Hello everyone, welcome back to Code to Commerce. Today we are going to explore three important design patterns: Mediator, Observer and Command design pattern. First, let's start with the basics. What are these patterns? The Mediator pattern centralizes complex communications and control logic between objects in a system. Instead of having objects refer to each other directly, they communicate through a mediator. The observer pattern allows objects to be notified of changes in other objects. The command pattern simplifies the way we handle requests and actions in a system. But why do we need these patterns? These patterns help us in various scenarios. The mediator pattern simplifies communications in complex systems. The observer pattern is ideal for implementing event-driven systems. The command pattern helps with undoable operations and any delayed execution. Now let's talk about some real-life applications. The mediator pattern can be seen in air traffic control systems. The observer pattern is like subscribing to a newsletter where you get updates whenever there is any news. The command pattern is like placing an order in a restaurant where the waiter takes your request and processes it. Now let's see some code examples. Here is an example of the mediator pattern. You see the image. We have a mediator pattern example, a mediator interface, a concrete mediator and some components. Now the idea here is this. We have added a reference to the mediator within a component. Similarly, mediator has a reference to multiple components. Now, when we call the method doA operation for the component 1, then component 1 does operation A. Post that, mediator pattern comes into the picture and then delegates the information to component 2 to perform operation C. Same thing happened with component 2. Now, you might be thinking, why doing all such stuff? Why bringing in so many layers? So basically, this promotes reduced coupling. Components are less dependent on each other and more on the mediator. Now, let's move on to the observer pattern. If you notice here, we have an observer pattern example, concrete observer and subject. Now subject gets instantiated. We have two observers which are added into the observer list within the subject class. We have add observers, remove observers and notify observers within subject class. Now, if there is any specific message which needs to be broadcasted to all the observers, then this pattern comes into the picture. As simple as that. Finally, let's take a look at the command pattern. Now, if you see the attached screenshot, we have a command pattern example class, an invoker remote control, interface command. Then we have concrete commands, light on command, light off command. Now, remote control is a medium which executes commands and passes these commands to respective classes. For example, here, remote control does not know what function needs to be performed. Its task is to pass the command to respective class. Here, remote acts as a medium to perform varieties of tasks incorporated behind the scenes. As simple as that. Execute commands function within the remote control passes all the commands to be executed behind the scenes. Now, let's talk about the pros and cons of each pattern. Again, the mediator pattern simplifies communication between the objects, but it can centralize too much control, leading to more and more layers in between the communication. The observer pattern promotes a one-to-many dependency, but managing subscriptions can get more and more complex. The command pattern encapsulates requests as objects, but it needs more organization to handle all the classes and requests in between. And that's a wrap. We have covered mediator, observer, and command pattern with examples and code. Remember, these patterns are just tools to simplify and enhance your coding. As far as their usage is concerned, always make sure if they can be the right patterns to fit in. Please subscribe, like, share, and hit the bell icon to stay updated with the latest videos. See you in the next episode.